Welcome. My name is Dr. Brooks Doherty. I'm the Assistant Vice President of Academic Innovation at Rasmussen University, and I'll be serving as your Master of Ceremonies today. Before we begin, we present our national anthem. I want to welcome you again to your virtual graduation celebration. As we are all aware, across the world, COVID-19 has forced more than 1 billion students out of school. For hundreds of thousands of graduates like you, the unfortunate realization that your in-person graduation had to be canceled must have been disheartening. We at Rasmussen University truly understand how important this day is to you. This ceremony will serve as a celebration, bringing together you, Rasmussen University graduates, your family, friends, along with faculty and staff, to honor the graduating class of 2021. The ceremony will feature a few remarks by the interim president of Rasmussen University, Dr. Ann Leah. Your campus has chosen a student speaker who will also be featured. And additionally, we are thrilled to have Gloria Perez, the president and chief executive officer of the Women's Foundation of Minnesota, as our keynote speaker, featuring her insights on a new day, a future full of hope. Finally, and most importantly to you as a graduate, the opportunity to celebrate you through a virtual procession. The conferring of degrees will follow immediately with the turning of the tassels. It will truly be an unprecedented and exciting graduation experience. On behalf of the entire faculty, staff, and Rasmussen University leadership, we would like to thank each of you for joining us. Once again, I am proud to welcome you, the graduating class of 2021, to Rasmussen University's virtual commencement ceremony. This event serves as the culmination of the hard work and effort each graduate put in to earn their degree at Rasmussen University. The community has come together to celebrate each graduate's impressive accomplishments and your bright futures ahead. Without question, these graduates will be a permanent part of Rasmussen University's history and join over 100,000 graduates throughout our 121 years of excellence. For some graduates, this is your first time attending college. For others, you set out to complete what you once started but had yet to finish. And for many of our master's degree graduates, this has been a personal goal for many, many years. Many overcame significant obstacles. You had to balance responsibilities at home, at work, with families, expectations in your career, and yet you found a way and succeeded. By being part of this celebration today, you set the example that through hard work, determination, a support system, any person can achieve their goals. At Rasmussen University, we understand that without the love and support of graduates, friends, and families, your journey may not have been achieved. Graduates, we hope you take a moment to recognize and thank those who have supported you along the way in your educational journey. At Rasmussen University, we are especially honored to support many active military members and veterans as you work toward accomplishing your education and career goals. We would like to thank all of our graduates who are members of active military or veterans for your service to our country. Thank you very much. And finally, our faculty at Rasmussen University. These individuals are responsible for educating and changing lives every day, rain or shine. They take the success of our graduates and our students as a personal responsibility, and I am privileged to work with them every day. Thank you to our faculty at Rasmussen University. And now I would like to introduce the interim president of Rasmussen University, Dr. Ann Leah. She will be sharing a few comments and will introduce today's keynote speaker. Please welcome Dr. Ann Leah.
Thank you, Dr. Doherty, and congratulations to all of our graduates. I am so very proud of you. You set a goal and have now reached the finish line. This new degree is both a personal and a professional accomplishment. What you have earned cannot be taken away. This is a big moment for you. Many of our graduates decided to purchase caps and gowns, even though they weren't walking across the stage, as a symbol of their accomplishment. Within their cap and gown package, there is a green stole, which symbolizes a Rasmussen tradition, and it's called a stole of gratitude. It's a tradition that at the end of our commencement ceremony, each graduate may place that stole around the neck of someone who provided encouragement or support through your academic journey. This stole of gratitude represents lasting appreciation and sincere gratitude towards the recipient for supporting them through their academic accomplishment. Even though we're not celebrating in person today, we encourage you to keep this time-honored tradition. Or if you have not purchased a graduation gown, please do take the time to thank that special person who guided you in the process. These are not normal times. You have had to adjust and cope with much adversity as you navigated through your coursework. Working from home, possibly switching to online classes with children or family, friends, relatives at home with you. All of these make your accomplishment even more commendable. You should be so very proud of yourselves. You forged ahead and succeeded. We are honored to have Gloria Perez as our keynote speaker for this event. Ms. Perez is the President and Chief Executive Officer of the Women's Foundation of Minnesota, where she leads the first statewide women's foundation in the country. The Women's Foundation of Minnesota has distributed more than $31 million through community investments. They also conduct ongoing research on the status of women and girls in Minnesota, advocate for public policy that results in greater economic security and safety for women and their families, and invest in organizations and leaders to build and achieve gender and racial equity. Ms. Perez became one of the country's leading experts in two-generation strategies to reduce poverty as the CEO and president of the Jeremiah Program, a national nonprofit whose proven holistic approach transforms families from poverty to prosperity 2 generations at a time. She has over 25 years of experience across sectors, ranging from small businesses, for-profit corporations, to nonprofit human service organizations. As an Ascend Fellow at the Aspen Institute, Ms. Perez is working with other national leaders to drive innovative ideas and proven strategies to help families achieve educational success and economic security. She serves on the board of directors for the Hazelton Betty Ford Foundation, the Cerisi Walburn Foundation, and the St. Paul and Minnesota Foundation. Please welcome me. We are so happy to have Gloria Perez here as our keynote.
Thank you, President Leha. Trustees, friends, family, and graduating class of 2021, I am honored to celebrate your graduation from Rasmussen University. 600 scholars across 23 campuses from around the country. How wonderful to have you all sharing in this virtual commencement. Congratulations. Of course, I was holding out hope that in-person celebrations would be happening by now, but here we are in the comfort and safety of our respective homes. Regardless of how we do it, reflecting on your collective accomplishments is well-deserved and inspiring. Now, what an extraordinary year this past year has been. In this last year, I have felt like I was in the middle of a mix between Groundhog Day and a movie about the apocalypse. Does that ring true for any of you? None of us could have predicted this would be the year for heightened awareness about systemic inequities and a call for cultural transformation across the country. From the onset of the pandemic to the deaths of Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, and George Floyd, and the increase in hate crimes across the world, we are at a global crossroads. This is a defining moment for us as a human race. In this extended period of social isolation and reckoning with injustice, I draw strength from the words of Maya Angelou. In the midst of adversity, she said, "Still I rise." Graduation from college is also a defining moment. It represents a new day for you. It is a time for you to boldly step into your careers and claim the knowledge that you have gained as a college graduate. This is the time to own your value. It takes courage to step up and claim your space in the world. We are taught to be humble and unassuming. But this is a new day. Something different is needed. Society is designed to maintain the status quo. And historically, society's status quo has benefited some to the exclusion of others. And in this defining moment, we are seeing the impact of those inequities. To achieve equity for all, we must engage our imagination and creativity and then redefine what it means to live in a country with liberty and justice for all. As you go into the world, I want you to claim your space, to share your unique gifts, talents, and your knowledge. This is what the world needs right now. The world needs a diversity of people with diverse lived experiences and creativity and innovative ideas. The world needs people with grit, determination, and a passion to live their best lives. Now, today, you join a long tradition of students who came to Rasmussen University with a diversity of experiences, identities, and passions. Many of you started at Rasmussen University years after graduating from high school. You know what it's like to juggle a multitude of responsibilities while pursuing your education. If you are a woman, during the pandemic, you have been juggling paid and unpaid work at home, and often you are at the center of your family's needs. This is not new for many of you. It is just amplified in this critical time. By graduating today, you are all demonstrating that you have the grit and determination to succeed. This past year was challenging, even for those of us with the privileges of safe housing, a supportive family, close friends, and secure finances. Even if you were already engaged in online education before the pandemic, staying the course in a rapidly changing environment with unpredictability, more unknowns and unknowns, has had to be a challenge. And yet, you rise. Your future is within reach, and all you need to do is have the courage to grab it. Now, first, take time to celebrate all that you have accomplished to get to this moment. Now is the time to thank all the people who have supported you in achieving this milestone, whether it's a professor, a mentor, a supervisor at work, a spouse, or a parent. None of us get through life without support from others, but don't let that diminish your hand in all that you've accomplished. Now is the time to celebrate the sacrifices, time, and energy you've invested in your achievement. You did this, you are graduating today. Now remember, you are worthy of all that you aspire to achieve. Second, in this time of global transformation, what the world needs from you is that you live your life with courage and compassion. In times of uncertainty, we look to people who speak with conviction about what we can or should be doing. We seek out experts to provide information about how to prepare and plan for what's next. These people instill confidence in others because of their demonstrated courage. Well, in this time of your transition as a college graduate, you are the expert in your life. You are in the best position to know what you need. You know that you are capable, and you know that this degree is the result of your hard work and your commitment to your future. Celebrate your contributions to your success. Whatever that voice inside your head is telling you about your dreams, listen to it. You can bring those dreams to fruition. As the CEO of a statewide community foundation in Minnesota, I drive investment and innovation for gender and racial equity. I recently had to respond to the unprecedented needs of women and communities of color across Minnesota who have been experiencing the disproportionate impact of COVID-19. I have been humbled by the generosity, compassion, and commitment of people who are willing to concede that the pre-COVID world was not working for many of us. People have begun to question the systems that have benefited some at the expense of others. In this period of reckoning and innovation, all of our grit and compassion will be critical to the success across all of society. Whatever your passion is, I encourage you to draw on your courage and determination to learn, innovate, and take action, whether it's in nursing, health sciences, business, technology, design, education, or justice. All industries and all fields are having to grow, change, and innovate in order to remain viable for the future. Author Arundhati Roy once said, "Another world is not only possible, she is on her way. On a quiet day, I can hear her breathing." Now just listen for a moment. Do you hear her? Do you have that feeling of hope? As a child, I spent hours and hours daydreaming. What is it that people say, if I only knew then what I know now? I would daydream, literally, about the Mary Tyler Moore life, working in a Minneapolis newsroom, climbing the corporate ladder. If I got really wild with my thoughts, I would daydream about what it would be like to have superpowers, like Wonder Woman. I mean, who hasn't thought about having superpowers, right? Well, when it came time for me to go to college, I felt overwhelmed, inadequate, unprepared, anything but courageous. What I came to realize is that my superpower is courage. In the face of fear, I persist. I applied for college without much support. My mother expected my high school to help. My high school expected my mother to help. I built my muscles of courage by figuring out college on my own. It was up to me to listen to my inner voice about what I wanted to study, where I wanted to go to college. My inner voice was telling me it was time to break out on my own. Despite my fear and hesitation, I applied for college outside of Texas, and that is what brought me to Minnesota, where I live today. What I learned is that I needed to look for answers within myself. I needed to embrace my dreams, accept my insecurities, and understand that my natural gifts and abilities would provide insight to my future direction. Thankfully, my superpower has helped me press ahead into the unknown. With a big dose of courage, a lot of good luck, and the compassion and support of others, I eventually stumbled into my life's work to make the world a better place for women, children, and people of color. Now, if you only remember one thing from me today, please remember this: you are powerful beyond measure. Activist Marianne Williamson eloquently said, quote, "Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone," unquote. Marianne Williamson spoke of what you now know. Let your light shine, and you will let the world shine as well. When you unchain your fears, you will liberate your neighbor. And finally, as you build your career, feel confident because of all that you have endured to achieve this milestone. Each of you is the author of your life's story, and you have the power to create chapters that lie ahead. Your graduation today, coupled with your lived experiences and insights, are all you need to pursue your dreams. Now, I'm not so naive as to think you're going to walk right out of here and get any job on your first try, but I do believe you should have the confidence to strive for it. In working toward your ultimate goal, you will be building your muscles of courage. Be bold enough to ask for what you want and need, and if the world does not give you what you want, be courageous enough to listen and learn about what else you might do to achieve your goals. Let me close by reminding you that in your life story, you get to be awesome, amazing, and brilliant. Use this incredible moment to claim your space in the world, and do not be afraid of the work required to reach your goals. Just remember that every time you encounter a challenge, you can meet that challenge with the same grit, determination, and compassion that you invested in your education. You will persevere. Your experience is embodied in the words of Jeremiah the prophet. "For I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." I have hope for your future. I have hope for our world. And I want to thank you and congratulate you once again. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Perez, for sharing your inspirational message today. And now, the student speaker from your campus would like to say a few words before the graduation procession.
Esteemed faculty, family, friends, and the exceptional class of 2021, it is my privilege to welcome you to this auspicious occasion. I am truly honored to be before you today as a Rasmussen University graduate and commencement speaker. I would like to begin by thanking God, for without my faith in life, I would not be here today. I would also like to thank my family and friends for their continued support and encouragement. And last but definitely not least, the faculty and staff at Rasmussen University. Class of 2021, I expect it is safe for me to assume that you are just as excited as I am to see what the future holds and where the next journey will lead. Before coming to this great school, I was not so enthused about furthering my education. My high school years were not the best for my grades. And although I had the support I needed to succeed, I did not have the drive nor the confidence. I thought that college education was only for those who excelled academically, and I felt that I had missed my shot. One of my favorite quotes comes from one of the founding fathers, Alexander Hamilton, and it reads, "Those who stand for nothing fall for everything." I didn't know it at the time, but I was about to fall for a lot. The journey that I was about to embark on would be full of indecisive decisions, self-doubt, passed on opportunities, and anxiety. Sounds fun, huh? But what can you expect from a young adult who felt she had nothing to stand for? I fell for everything. I fell for the ideas I fed myself that I was not college material. I fell for those who told me that I would never succeed teaching young children. And I fell for the thought that I had missed my one shot at making a difference in this world. Children are remarkable human beings. They have a way of changing your perspective on life and the world around you and your purpose on this earth. It was a child who helped me discover my passion, my husband. Yeah, I know, not exactly the child you might have been thinking of, but he is truly a child at heart. My husband is one of my biggest supporters, and with his support and love, I have been able to focus on my education, and I will always be grateful to him for that. When I first met my husband, I had no desire to have children, let alone start a career that included them. But once I had the chance to get to learn and know this man, I started painting pictures in my mind of the family I wanted to build with him. Soon my family daydreams turned into a yearning to be around children, and then a hunger to teach them. I found a career where I can enjoy the presence of children every day, and well, here I am. We all have our own stories of how we got to this point, to this graduation ceremony. I didn't see myself here, but God had other plans. It took me to be encouraged to get here, to be inspired, to believe in myself. I had to tell myself that it was not too late. I did not miss my chance. Or in the compliments of the stage play Hamilton, I was not throwing away my shot. One of my favorite poets, Toni Morrison, said, "Make a difference about something other than yourself." Every time I walk into a classroom, I will hold on to these words and remember that Rasmussen helped me make a difference. My supporters helped me make a difference. I make a difference, and I know that the class of 2021 will as well. In closing, I would like to leave you with some encouraging words, especially with the chaos of our world and our nation today. As you may have guessed by now, I am a massive fan of the play Hamilton and its creator, Lin-Manuel Miranda. So I'll leave you with his words, which reads, "You cannot let all the world's tragedies into your heart. You will drown. But the ones you do let in should count. Let them manifest action." My prayer for this class is that your trials, tribulations, and tragedies push you to want better for your future, to keep striving for greatness, to make every single moment count, and to always, always remember you are your best thing. I want to thank you for the pleasure of speaking with you today. And with that, I congratulate Rasmussen's University class of 2021.
Graduates, now is the time the next phase of your life begins. As you see your name presented, reflect on all your hard work and dedication over the years that has led you to this success. Keep in mind, this is not the end of your road, but the beginning. There may be more degrees in your future, and certainly there will be lifelong learning, inquiry, and exploration. Today's graduates across Rasmussen University campuses will be receiving either a master's degree, a Bachelor of Science degree, an Associate of Science degree, a diploma, or a certificate. Congratulations once again to all of these outstanding graduates. We are extremely proud of you.
Alicia Belkstrom, Master of Science, Graduate, Healthcare Administration. Mary C. Bell, Master of Science, Graduate, Healthcare Administration. Andrew J. Buden, Master of Science, Graduate, Human Resources Management. Jill A. Cook, Master of Science, Graduate, Human Resources Management. Kelly J. Cox, Master of Science, Graduate, Healthcare Administration with distinction. Dawn Draper Jackson, Master of Science, Graduate, Human Resources Management. Andrew Dirtka, Master of Science, Graduate, Data Science with distinction. Joanna Elmhorst, Master of Science, Graduate, Human Resources Management. Heather K. Fletcher, Master of Science, Graduate, Healthcare Administration. Jill Marie Frericks, Master of Science, Graduate, Healthcare Administration with distinction. Tara R. Fry, Master of Science, Graduate, Healthcare Administration. Julie A. Golden, Master of Science, Graduate Nursing. Renee Jackson, Master of Science, Graduate Data Science with distinction. Kimberly Card, Master of Science, Graduate Human Resources Management. Christopher T. Klunder, Master of Science, Graduate Human Resources Management. Tiffany Klunder, Master of Science, Graduate Human Resources Management. Stephanie L. Levante, Master of Science, Graduate Human Resources Management with distinction. Tiffany R. Manning, Master of Science, Graduate Human Resources Management. Heather M. Neebs, Master of Science, Graduate Healthcare Administration, with distinction. Megan Oswald, Master of Science, Graduate Nursing, with distinction. Priyanka Patel, Master of Science, Graduate Healthcare Administration. Catherine J. Pop, Master of Science, Graduate Nursing, with distinction. Rinda Poor, Master of Science, Graduate Healthcare Administration. Kaylee J. Pravella, Master of Science, Graduate Nursing. Brittany Rigaud, Master of Science, Graduate Healthcare Administration. Samantha M. Savoy, Master of Science, Graduate Human Resources Management. Shauna Schultz, Master of Science, Graduate Human Resources Management. Abby A. Simonson, Master of Science, Graduate Nursing, with distinction. Bambi D. Smith, Master of Science, Graduate Nursing. Paris Tony, Master of Science, Graduate Healthcare Administration. Erica Urbina, Master of Science, Graduate Healthcare Administration. Russell Velarde, Master of Science, Graduate Human Resources Management. Sarah Williams, Master of Science, Graduate Human Resources Management. Valerie D. Wilson, Master of Science, Graduate Human Resources Management. Marcia Youngblood, Master of Science, Graduate Healthcare Administration. Ashley Zeltinger, Master of Science, Graduate Nursing. Philip D. Abercrombie, Associate of Science, Business Management, with honors. Ashley A. Accord, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, magna cum laude. April Addison, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Chrissy Adkins DeNorm, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, cum laude. Lori Marie Aguilar, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education, with honors. Audrey Siobhan M. Allen, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education, with honors. Ivana Anyekba, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Dominique Anderson, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Sherry Anderson, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Diego A. Andrade, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, cum laude. Luis Anton Torres, Bachelor of Science, Cybersecurity, summa cum laude. Habibullah Anwar, Bachelor of Science, Computer Science, magna cum laude. Brianna Kaylin Apodaca, Associate of Science, Criminal Justice. Stephen Arroyo, Bachelor of Science, Marketing. Dina A. Asamoah, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Amanda Aslin, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Allison M. Atkinson, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Tracy Austin, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Harry Babcock III, Associate of Science, Information Technology Management, with honors. Taralee Baker, Bachelor of Science, Healthcare Management. Carrie Renee Ball, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Brittany K. Banks, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Adriana Banks, Certificate, Pharmacy Technician. Chelsea R. Farkas, Associate of Science, Business Management with Honors. Michelle E. Barrett, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, Summa Cum Laude. Bobby S. Becker, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, Cum Laude. Lori A. Bender, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, Summa Cum Laude. Denise Bentham, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician, with Honors. Amy Burnett, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, magna cum laude. Kristen D. Betton, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Juliana Billington, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Melissa Blair, Bachelor of Science, Human Services, summa cum laude. Angela Blakey, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education, with Honors. Brandy L. Blanchard, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education, with Honors. Maya D. Booker, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education, Leadership. Heather Borman, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education, with Honors. Deshandra L. Boykin, Associate of Science, Medical Administrative Assistant. Stuart J. Brackett, Jr., Associate of Science, Graphic Design, with Honors. Matthew Brady, Bachelor of Science, Cybersecurity, cum laude. April A. Branch, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Alicia Bratton, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Shaniqua L. Brazel, Certificate, Medical Administrative Assistant. Caitlin Bryce, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Paris Bright, Associate of Science, Marketing. Alyssa T. Brinkman, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, cum laude. Marilee Brogan, Associate of Science, Practical Nursing. Genevieve Brungart, Associate of Science, Graphic Design, with Honors. Alyssa Bryan, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Janelle Bukzinski, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Lindsay Booner, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Timothy B. Butler, Certificate, Information Technology Management, with Honors. Carla Cabeza Fernandez, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Stephanie Cagle, Associate of Science, Paralegal, with Honors. Vincent L. Camarillo, Associate of Science, Business Management, with Honors. Stacy Cameron, Certificate, Pharmacy Technician. Tiffany Campbell, Bachelor of Science, Business Management, cum laude. Laura Canada, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, cum laude. Alyssa Cannon, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Tamika Capers, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership. Colleen E. Carlson, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership. Virginia Carr, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, summa cum laude. Marlana Carter, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician, with honors. Christina L. Carter, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, cum laude. Natalie J. Casablanca, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, summa cum laude. Alan A. Castillo, Associate of Science, Information Technology Management, with honors. Tasha L. Castillo, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Gwendy Castrita, Associate of Science, Paralegal, magna cum laude. Brittany Caulfield, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, summa cum laude. Zakaya Caton, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Brittany Cecil, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education, with honors. Miriam Seha, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education, with honors. Teresa A. Chadwick, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding, with honors. Felicia Chambers, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Wanda R. Chapman, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician, with honors. Ashlyn M. Shapias, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Wilford Sherry Jr., Associate of Science, Information Technology Management, with honors. Brittany Chenard, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, summa cum laude. Renee L. Christian, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education, with honors. Kelly Clark, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, summa cum laude. Jowendolyn L. Clay, Associate of Science, Information Technology Management. Dominique Clyett, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education, with honors. Stephanie N. Cochran, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education, with honors. Heather Cockerham, Bachelor of Science, Human Services. Shelley Collins, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Talina Connor, Bachelor of Science, Healthcare Management, magna cum laude. Christina H. Conrad, Bachelor of Science, Accounting, summa cum laude. Clifford K. Conte, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Tricia Conver, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Shanae Cooper, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership. Jacqueline Mercado Jimenez, Bachelor of Science, Healthcare Management, cum laude. Brittany L. Coronella, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Misty Cornell, Certificate, Paralegal. Maria Cortez, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education, with honors. Christina L. Costantino, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, summa cum laude. Donella R. Cox, Bachelor of Science, Health Information Management, summa cum laude. Kiara Crawford, Associate of Science, Accounting. LaChastity Crawford, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Ashley M. Craze, Certificate, Early Childhood Education, with honors. Frances L. Crockett-Wolf, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership. Razadeli Cruz, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician with honors. Jacqueline Keneally, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, cum laude. Carol Curry, Bachelor of Science, Human Services. Danielle Daly, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership. Anthony L. Denise Jr., Associate of Science, Business Management with honors. Constance DeAngelo, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, summa cum laude. Ashley C. Dappin, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, cum laude. Kimberly Dean, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding, with honors. Shawanda DeBose, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Cecilia Deed Blodorn, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, cum laude. Barbara J. Deese, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education with honors. Dewana Desjarnais, Certificate, Early Childhood Education with honors. Isabel V. Delgado, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Shirley A. Dennis, Certificate, Paralegal with honors. June Dobbs, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership. Astupui Dugbla, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, summa cum laude. Lori M. Dorian, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education with honors. Patricia Dorsey, Bachelor of Science, Criminal Justice. Christina Drian, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Aaron V. Dudley, Associate of Science, Accounting. Jennifer C. Duncan, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician with honors. Macy Dunsworth, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Mikkel Dyes, Associate of Science, Marketing. Tammy Edley, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, summa cum laude. Ruslana M. Ellers, Associate of Science, Paralegal. Mary Alamongo, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Danielle English, Certificate, Early Childhood Education. Catherine Fajardo, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Jordan Falandis, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education with honors. Tara Fassel, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education with honors. Tavy K. Fears, Associate of Science, Accounting with honors. Lindsay F. Ferguson, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician with honors. Angela Fisher, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, cum laude. Victoria C. Fisher, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Latasha Fisher, Certificate, Early Childhood Education. Jason J. Fisher, Bachelor of Science, Human Resources and Organizational Leadership, cum laude. Jacqueline E. Fitzgerald, Bachelor of Science, Healthcare Management, cum laude. Charnel J. Fletcher, Associate of Science, Web Programming. Nabri Duriana Florence, Certificate, Pharmacy Technician. Terry C. Ford, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Antonia M. Foster, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education, with honors. Tawana D. Fowler, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education, with honors. Carrie L. Fox, Bachelor of Science, Health Information Management, summa cum laude. LaCosta E. Frank, Associate of Science, Paralegal, with honors. Andrea R. Freeman, Associate of Science, Human Resources and Organizational Leadership. Abide H. Freeman, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Victoria A. Fritz, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education, with honors. Janelle B. Gamble, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Leslie A. Garcia, Bachelor of Science, Business Management. Katie Garcia, Certificate, Early Childhood Education. Amanda Garcia, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education, with honors. Hope R. Garnett, Associate of Science, Business Management. Carolyn Gatans, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, magna cum laude. Emily A. Gee, Associate of Science, Paralegal. Heather A. Gentile, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, summa cum laude. Harani Katahun, Associate of Science, Paralegal, with honors. Tony A. Gibbons, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Nicole M. Geese, Bachelor of Science, Business Management. Talisha Gilbert, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Amber Gilligan, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, summa cum laude. Holly Gimmer, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Talisha Goldley Braxton, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Nancy Goldblatt, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, summa cum laude. Jessica Gomez, Bachelor of Science, Business Management. Janelle Goodman, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership. Nathan Goodrich, Bachelor of Science, Finance. Heather Goudreau, Associate of Science, Information Technology Management. Lorona Grajetti, Associate of Science, Paralegal, with honors. Rachel Renater, Associate of Science, Paralegal, with honors. Kelly R. Greenlee, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education, with honors. Bryn M. Gray, Certificate, Paralegal, with honors. Eris Grabakis, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician, with honors. Darlie Gross, Bachelor of Science, Healthcare Management. Christian M. Gutierrez, Bachelor of Science, Computer Science. Tiana Hairston, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. James Hammond, Jr., Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Delvana G. Hampton, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education with honors. Maria Hamrick, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education with honors. Audrey J. Hansen, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education with honors. Benjamin Hansen, Bachelor of Science, Business Management, summa cum laude. Patricia Hargrove Terry, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education with honors. Tasha Harris, Associate of Science, Business Management. Tanya L. Harris, Bachelor of Science, Healthcare Management, summa cum laude. Desiree Hart, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Heather Harvey, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, summa cum laude. Brianna House, Certificate, Paralegal with honors. Lalonda Hawthorne, Associate of Science, Pharmacy Technician. Pauline P. Hayden, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education with honors. Jacqueline Hemp, Associate of Science, Human Resources and Organizational Leadership with honors. Adrian Hendricks, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Brittany L. Herman, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Janine Hernandez, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, summa cum laude. Trishalana Haywood Gearhart, Associate of Science, Human Services, with honors. Dara L. Heiner, Certificate, Pharmacy Technician, with honors. Saniqua M. Higgins, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Jacqueline A. Hilgendorf, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Chiquita L. Hill, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership. Lakeisha R. Holliday, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Julie L. Holt, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education, with honors. Kalanda Horn, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Precious Horton, Bachelor of Science, Business Management, cum laude. Rebecca J. Hotzel, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, cum laude. Megan Howe, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, magna cum laude. Brandy Hubbs, Associate of Science, Human Services. Robert J. Huckstein, Bachelor of Science, Computer Science, summa cum laude. Debbie L. Eiles, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Jacinta Insero, Associate of Science, Graphic Design. Abigail Iracheta, Certificate, Paralegal with honors. Brianna Irving, Bachelor of Science, Health and Wellness, magna cum laude. Rosalinda Isidore, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Alyssa M. Isidoro, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Amber N. Jacobs, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. LaPortia Jackson, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Shamir C. James, Associate of Science, Business Management. Pamela James, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, magna cum laude. Ashley Janowska, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Anjali Jayamaha Muduli Donvi, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education with Honors. Jennifer Jenkins, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician with Honors. Alina Jimenez, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, cum laude. Jessica Johnson, Bachelor of Science, Human Services. Ratani D. Johnson, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Amanda R. Johnson, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Kyla M. Johnson, Certificate, Pharmacy Technician. Samantha S. Jones, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Doris U. Jones, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, summa cum laude. Teresa Jones, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician, with Honors. Femina Jose, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Rebecca Justice, Bachelor of Science, Human Resources and Organizational Leadership, summa cum laude. Bernice V. Camara, Bachelor of Science, Health Information Management, summa cum laude. Jake Kane, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Amanda K., Bachelor of Science, Human Services, summa cum laude. Courtney Keach, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, cum laude. Christine A. Keller, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, summa cum laude. Evan A. Kelly, Bachelor of Science, Finance. Angela Kelly, Bachelor of Science, Healthcare Management, summa cum laude. Chan T. Keo, Associate of Science, Human Services. Kiwani N. Knight, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Kathleen J. Kufnetka, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Deborah A. Kolb, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Glenda Kuntz, Bachelor of Science, Human Services. Allison Kortenbusch, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Kiana Kotrava, Certificate, Medical Administrative Assistant. Aaron Kramer, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Kelly A. Kruger, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education, with Honors. Carol J. Kruger, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education, with Honors. Sarah Kruger, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Alicia Kuntz, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education, with Honors. Diane Lahote, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Elise Lamb, Certificate, Paralegal, with Honors. Dina Lander, Associate of Science, Paralegal, with Honors. Fred Lang, Associate of Science, Criminal Justice. Amy D. Langer, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician, with Honors. Gao Lau, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician, with Honors. Nina LaPlante, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Tristan Larson, Certificate, Paralegal, with Honors. Kathleen Laverie, Associate of Science, Graphic Design. Brenda B. Lawson, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. April Leonard, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education with honors. Elizabeth L. Leroy, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, cum laude. Angelica L. Lutz, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education with honors. Melissa K. Lewis, Certificate, Early Childhood Education. Brianna R. Lima, Certificate, Paralegal with honors. Canaire Locke, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Dylan H. Liodice, Associate of Science, Graphic Design with honors. Sophie Luby, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Crystal L. Lucas, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding with honors. Susanna Luna, Certificate, Accounting. Elizabeth S. Lutz, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Mallory Madrid, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, magna cum laude. Magdalene M. Magana, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Madison R. Magnuson, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Corey J. Mahu, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, magna cum laude. Araceli Maldonado, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, summa cum laude. Angel Mallard, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Eric Manecki, Bachelor of Science, Business Management, magna cum laude. Sinead Marino, Bachelor of Science, Supply Chain, summa cum laude. Brenda Marquez, Certificate, Pharmacy Technician. Victoria Martin, Associate of Science, Human Resources and Organizational Leadership with honors. Bailey Martinez, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Tanika S. Matthews, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education with honors. Blossom Maba, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Amy McEnany, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Monica A. McCartney, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Tawania M. McClure, Associate of Science, Medical Administrative Assistant. Valerie McMillan, Associate of Science, Pharmacy Technician with honors. Samantha McMurray, Certificate, Early Childhood Education. Cindy Meggett, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education with honors. Sherry Mem, Bachelor of Science, Accounting, summa cum laude. Melanie K. Meinhardt, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, summa cum laude. Connie Z. Melchizedek, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Linda Melo, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, summa cum laude. Roxanne Mendez, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, summa cum laude. Crystal Sky Mendoza, Associate of Science, Human Services. Sandra Merriweather, Bachelor of Science, Health Information Management. Ashley R. Miles, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership. Elizabeth M. Miller, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Joey Miller, Associate of Science, Marketing. Nicole M. Miller, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Haley Miller, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Natasha Milson, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, summa cum laude. Mason C. Mincy, Associate of Science, Criminal Justice. Nicole Minnerly, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Rebecca A. Miner, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Talita K. Moala, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership. Fartoon Mohammed, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Marilyn Mahorn, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Louise A. Montano, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education, with honors. Elizabeth Moon, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Susan D. Moore, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, summa cum laude. Janaya Moore, Certificate, Medical Administrative Assistant. Jennifer Mora, Associate of Science, Paralegal. Chelsea R. Morales, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Mariah M. Morris, Certificate, Early Childhood Education with honors. Ashley L. Morris, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, cum laude. Melanie Mosby, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Zariah S. Mosier Robinson, Certificate, Paralegal. Cortez Mosley, Associate of Science, Accounting. Jennifer L. Mowry, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Janelle Mucitelli, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, cum laude. Lisa A. Muhlenbein, Bachelor of Science, Health and Wellness, summa cum laude. Emily E. Mugli, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician, with honors. Kimberly M. Muller, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Carla A. Murphy, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Sarah Murray, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership. Ebony S. Murray White, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership. Nicole L. Music, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Stacy Nagy, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, summa cum laude. Jezebel L. Nelsonick, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Camry L. Nehru, Bachelor of Science, Health Information Management, summa cum laude. Erica L. Nettles, Associate of Science, Pharmacy Technician, with honors. Mirtanellis Noyokano, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education, with honors. Andrew Nichols, Certificate, Pharmacy Technician, with honors. Anime O. Nicholson, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician, with honors. April Nixon, Certificate, Accounting. Beatrice K. Nayabudi, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Fernanda Odaguier Henrique, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, summa cum laude. Kelsey A. O'Day, Associate of Science, Paralegal with Honors. Danielle R. O'Donoghue, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Teresa L. Ogren, Bachelor of Science, Healthcare Management, summa cum laude. Gemasola E. Olabode, Bachelor of Science, Healthcare Management, cum laude. Felicia Oliver, Certificate, Pharmacy Technician. Janine Olson Ablamsky, Associate of Science, Business Management with Honors. Doris Amwenga, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Tekla K. Andiki, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Lesbia Orellana, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, cum laude. Letitia Ortiz, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education with Honors. Adrian Osborne, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Elizabeth Osadekes, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education with Honors. Laquanda S. Owsley Saigo, Associate of Science, Accounting. Jessica Outhouse, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding with Honors. Dylan J. Owen, Associate of Science, Business Management. Barbara A. Oxley, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding with Honors. Temitope Oyolowo, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Yancy Pagan, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education with Honors. Caitlin Payne, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education with Honors. Samantha A. Palmer, Certificate, Medical Administrative Assistant with Honors. Jessica Panter, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education with Honors. Denise Parker, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Nicole Parnell, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician with Honors. Marissa A. Perry, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Nathan A. Parch, Bachelor of Science, Business Management. Linda L. Pater, Associate of Science, Medical Administrative Assistant with Honors. Sarah Peltier, Associate of Science, Healthcare with Honors. Jamie L. Perez, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, cum laude. Andrea Purnell, Certificate, Paralegal with Honors. Erica Harry, Associate of Science, Business Management. Jessica L. Perry, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Jennifer Peterson, Bachelor of Science, Human Resources and Organizational Leadership, cum laude. Ellen Pearson, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, magna cum laude. Mary J. Philippi, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education with Honors. Beverly Phillips, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Emily E. Pietro, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Joseph S. Pilarczyk, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Rachel Pinion, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician, with honors. Michelle Pogus, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, summa cum laude. Elaine Pogliano, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education, with honors. Verdani Polanco, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, summa cum laude. Todd C. Pollard, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician, with honors. Lance T. Polis, Associate of Science, Information Technology Management. Elizabeth A. Porter, Associate of Science, Graphic Design, with honors. Michelle Prince, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, summa cum laude. Courtney Quigley Knapp, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education, with honors. Victoria L. Quijas, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Sharon D. Reagans, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. April Rains, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Anna Ramirez, Bachelor of Science, Criminal Justice. Hannah E. Ramirez, Certificate, Paralegal, with honors. Michael Ramphal, Associate of Science, Accounting. Angela Ramsey, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education, with honors. Janelle Randall, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Jeff A. Randall Jr., Associate of Science, Information Technology Management, with honors. Michaela S. Ratliff, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Courtney Reed, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Crystal R. Reed, Certificate, Pharmacy Technician, with honors. Nathan Reinhardt, Associate of Science, Software Application Development, with honors. Juanita J. Rode, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Crystal L. Richards, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education, with honors. Tina M. Richards, Associate of Science, Paralegal. Sierra Richardson, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Jennifer L. Richter, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, summa cum laude. Megan Rickey, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Thaddeus Radu, Certificate, Pharmacy Technician. Amanda L. Rimmer, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician, with honors. Teresa A. Reinhardt, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education, with honors. Annabelle Rivera, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Monica D. Rivers Dawkins, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Matthew C. Roberts, Associate of Science, Graphic Design. Nia Robinson, Associate of Science, Healthcare with Honors. Michelle N. Rogers, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding with Honors. Heather G. Rogers, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Heather Romanstein, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician with Honors. Ashley A. Rombau, Bachelor of Science, Human Services. Amy R. Roppel, Certificate, Paralegal with Honors. Caitlin Rose, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership. Amber Rose, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, Summa Cum Laude. Tamika Roy, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Reina Ruff Garcia, Associate of Science, Medical Administrative Assistant. John Ruiz, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education with Honors. Precious Rush, Certificate, Early Childhood Education. Angela M. Rossello, Bachelor of Science, Healthcare Management, Cum Laude. Brandy Russett, Certificate, Pharmacy Technician. Ashley A. Ryan, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Matilda Ryder, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education with Honors. Marcella Salas, Associate of Science, Human Resources and Organizational Leadership with Honors. Elizabeth Sanchez, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, Summa Cum Laude. Leanne E. Sanders, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, Summa Cum Laude. Janet R. Sandoval, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, Summa Cum Laude. Michelle D. Santos, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education with Honors. Emily Sauter, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership. Mia Saunders, Bachelor of Science, Human Services. Elizabeth Schmeckel, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, Summa Cum Laude. Jillian U. Schneider, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Amanda Shue, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Erica Scott, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Tanaya Scott, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership. Jalen J. Scurry, Associate of Science, Pharmacy Technician. Jasmine Sendejo, Associate of Science, Graphic Design. Angeline Shaka, Associate of Science, Practical Nursing. Dana M. Shannon, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician with Honors. Leah J. Suwinski, Bachelor of Science, Human Services. Tiffany T. Simon, Associate of Science, Human Services. Quenisha Sims, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership. Janika Singh, Associate of Science, Information Technology Management with honors. Emily L. Sleeper, Certificate, Pharmacy Technician with honors. Brittany M. Slazak, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Franklin G. Smith III, Associate of Science, Business Management. Kashmiri Smith, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Sarah E. Smith, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, summa cum laude. Emily E. Smith, Associate of Science, Graphic Design. Wayne M. Smith, Bachelor of Science, Human Resources and Organizational Leadership, summa cum laude. Jennifer N. Smith, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Taj N. Smith, Certificate, Paralegal with honors. Amber Smith, Associate of Science, Paralegal. Alejandra Solis, Certificate, Early Childhood Education. Rakelia Solomon, Certificate, Business. Heather Spoto, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education with honors. Jessica R. Statz, Associate of Science, Human Services with honors. Carol P. Steed, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician with honors. Catherine Stevens, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Elizabeth Stevens, Associate of Science, Graphic Design with honors. Brandy Sterry, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Jennifer Stewart, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. Carolyn M. Stipe, Certificate, Pharmacy Technician with honors. Roxanne Storm, Bachelor of Science, Healthcare Management, cum laude. Susan Storrs, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education with honors. Brianna R. Stover, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, summa cum laude. Christopher Strong, Associate of Science, Graphic Design. Michaela Strong, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Ashley Stumfold, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Alicia Summers, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership. Billy Summit, Certificate, Medical Administrative Assistant. Crystal Swanson, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education with honors. Katie Swofford, Associate of Science, Human Resources and Organizational Leadership with honors. Kalani Tapia, Certificate, Medical Administrative Assistant with honors. Devin Taylor, Associate of Science, Business Management. Lamont David Taylor, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership. Aaron Taylor, Bachelor of Science, Health Information Management, magna cum laude. Amanda Thomas, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Loretta Thomas, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education with honors. Kendra Thomas, Certificate, Early Childhood Education. Amanda Thomas, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, cum laude. Mary Thomas, Bachelor of Science, Health Information Management, summa cum laude. Marcus E. Thomason, Certificate, Information Technology Management. Sarah Thompson, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education with Honors. LeMay Tilley, Certificate, Early Childhood Education. Dana N. Tomlinson, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding. J. Torres, Associate of Science, Software Application Development. Tara Tritko, Bachelor of Science, Health and Wellness, summa cum laude. Edinong Udo, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Marco Ursaquetia, Bachelor of Science, Business Management. Andrea J. Valdez, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician with Honors. Migdalia Polanco Valentin, Certificate, Medical Billing and Coding with Honors. Brittany L. Vandelaire, Associate of Science, Business Management. Callie Vanderbilt, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician with Honors. Nam Bang, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Selah K. Vasquez, Certificate, Medical Administrative Assistant with Honors. Jose Vasquez, Associate of Science, Software Application Development with Honors. Rebecca Vieira, Certificate, Accounting with Honors. Ashley Vingy, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Sherry A. Walton, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education with Honors. Jeannie Warren, Bachelor of Science, Health Information Management. Vanessa B. Washington, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education with Honors. Daisha Watts, Associate of Science, Paralegal. Cole S. Weekle, Associate of Science, Business Management. Angela Weller, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, summa cum laude. Nicole Wirt, Associate of Science, Business Management with Honors. Elia Weston, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician. Awalakar S. Uyghur, Certificate, Pharmacy Technician. Natasha White, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Shanti D. Wida, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, summa cum laude. Declan Wilkins, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, cum laude. Dana Williams, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership. Jessica Wills, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership. Francine Wilson, Certificate, Early Childhood Education. Marilyn Wilson, Associate of Science, Human Resources and Organizational Leadership. Summer A. Wilson, Associate of Science, Web Programming with Honors. Kenneth Wilson, Jr., Bachelor of Science, Criminal Justice, cum laude. Heather Weingart, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership, summa cum laude. Charles E. Winnick, Bachelor of Science, Graphic Design, cum laude. Rhonda Wishmeyer, Bachelor of Science, Early Childhood Education Leadership. Franny Wohlwend, Associate of Science, Medical Administrative Assistant. Joy Worley Davis, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Charles Wrightington, Associate of Science, Health Information Technician with Honors. Tanisha Roten, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education. Tasha M. Yoder, Bachelor of Science, Health Information Management, summa cum laude. Sky Youngblood, Associate of Science, Early Childhood Education with Honors. Autumn Ziroff, Associate of Science, Medical Administrative Assistant with Honors. Melissa J. Ziertman, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Emily Zolan, Bachelor of Science, Nursing. Candice R. Zwilling, Bachelor of Science, Nursing, cum laude.
And now the moment has arrived. All of our graduates, please stand for the conferring of your degree. By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Rasmussen University, I hereby confer upon you the degree for which you have qualified, along with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining hereto. Undergraduates, it is now time to move your tassel from the right side of your cap to the left. Each and every one of you should be very proud of your accomplishments and achievements. We wish you all much success in life and rewarding careers. On behalf of the entire Rasmussen University community, congratulations to all of you.